Today, I honestly had no idea what to talk about. Behind the scenes, there's been a lot going on in my life, and it's all good shifts. I've just been a little preoccupied. And I'll be honest with you, I left filming this video until 8 p.m. today because I've just kept delaying it. I kept telling myself, I'll start in an hour, I'll start after I eat, I'll start when I clear my mind, I'll start after church. And suddenly, the whole day passed. So if you've ever had those days where you just don't feel it, where your mind is somewhere else, your energy is low, and showing up feels heavier than usual, then this one's for you, because I'm in it right now. What I realized today was this. It wasn't that I didn't want to show up. I did. It's that I didn't want to show up in a way that felt drained, forced, or disconnected. I didn't want to sit here and pretend like I was energized or inspired when really I wasn't. I wanted to show up in a way where I felt honest to where I am today. And it made me notice something about the way that most of us think about discipline, especially when it comes to consistency. Somewhere along the way, many of us learned that discipline means push through, ignore how you feel, show up no matter what, no softness allowed. Basically, if it doesn't feel hard, it doesn't count. And because of that, we fall into two extremes. Either we force ourselves through it and resent the process, or we avoid it completely and end up resenting ourselves. No wonder consistency feels exhausting. We were only ever shown two options: be rigid or quit. But today, it clicked for me. There's a third option, and most of us were never taught it. It's not forcing yourself, and it's not avoiding it. It's learning to show up in a way that supports you, a version of consistency that you can actually sustain because it feels like something you want to come back to. This is the part no one talks about. You don't stay consistent with things that drain you. You stay consistent with things that feel good to return to. And for the first time, I saw that discipline doesn't have to be cold or rigid to count. It can be warm, intentional, supportive, and human. So instead of forcing myself to film today at every hour, I paused and I allowed myself to forget that I had to film today. I just went about my day, did everything I wanted to get done today, and I told myself I'll figure it out, but no matter what, I'll get it done before I go to bed. It was amazing because I thought to myself, what would make me want to show up on camera today? And based on my answers, I just took action. I thought to myself, well, I would love to go on a bike ride, so I did. But then I said, I'd like to attend evening church. So I did. And when I got home, I had a great conversation with one of my friends, and I noticed that I went from all this pent up energy of I need to film, I have to film something, to now I'm calm enough and I actually want to film something. So instead, by just going about my day and releasing resistance towards this, I found it easier to now meet myself here. And that small shift changed everything. Showing up today no longer felt like something I was pushing myself through. It felt like something I was inviting myself into. And that's when I realized discipline isn't just about keeping a promise to the task. It's also about keeping a promise to the way you want to feel while doing it. And here's why that matters. Most people fail at consistency not because they're weak or unmotivated, but because the process they created to stay consistent is unsustainable. If every time you show up, it requires pressure, force, and self-neglect, your body will eventually reject the routine. We think that discipline means make it harder so it feels valid. But the truth is, if consistency only exists in your life through self-pressure, it will lead your life the moment your energy drops. Sustainable discipline isn't built on force. It's built on creating a relationship with showing up that doesn't harm you. If showing up keeps costing your peace, your joy, your well-being, you won't keep choosing it. And that doesn't make you undisciplined, it makes you human. So instead of asking, how do I push harder? A better question is, how can I make the act of showing up something I want to return to? Because what we want to come back to, we stay consistent with. Just think of the people, places, and habits you stay consistent with in your life. You don't keep returning to them because they're demanding. You return because being there feels good. So what if discipline became a place that you enjoy coming back to? A place where you feel safe, grounded, yourself. Instead of discipline feeling like, I have to do this, it becomes, this is a space I created for me. Imagine consistency not as a performance, but as a daily check-in with yourself. Not a pressure to meet a standard, but a moment you choose to honor who you're becoming. That's the shift. Consistency becomes devotion, not demand. So how do you start practicing this? Not in theory, but in real life. Here's what I'm doing moving forward. 1, I'm paying attention to how I show up, not just that I show up. If I feel resistance, instead of forcing myself through it, I pause and ask, what would make us feel more supportive right now? 2, I'm allowed the version of me that shows up to change daily. Some days I'll be energized and structured. Other days I'll just be slower, soft, and more reflective. Both versions count. 3, I'm choosing environments, rituals, and energy that make it easier to arrive. A candle, music, a clean, clear space, maybe even a different location. These are small shifts that signal to my brain, this moment matters. Be here. Because if you can make the entry point feel good, it becomes natural to stay. This is not about making everything aesthetic. It's about reducing the friction and increasing emotional safety around showing up. There will be days where you don't feel like it, just like today is for me. Remember this. Showing up softer is still showing up. It doesn't need to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be polished. It doesn't even need to be your best work. It just needs to be true. Because consistency isn't measured by intensity, it's measured by return. So if today, all you can offer is 60%, offer that with honesty, not shame. You don't lose progress by showing up gently. You lose progress by disappearing when it stops feeling perfect enough. So if you are someone who has struggled with discipline your whole life, then I want you to hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. You don't lack willpower. You don't lack commitment. You don't lack discipline. You were simply taught a version of discipline that was rooted in pressure, not care. And pressure might create short-term results, but care creates long-term transformation. Give yourself permission to build a version of consistency that doesn't require you to abandon yourself to maintain it. Tonight, I didn't show up because I forced myself. I showed up because I created a moment that felt worth arriving for. And if you try this even a little, you'll notice something shift. Because the secret to being consistent isn't about being harder on yourself. It's learning to make showing up feel like an act of self-respect. Not punishment, not pressure, just presence. Consistency becomes easier the moment it stops hurting to be consistent. So here's your bold action for today. Don't just show up. Show up in a way that supports the person you're becoming. Not perfectly, not aggressively, but intentionally. And then just keep going gently, with honesty, and with care. This is day 32 out of 100 bold, and I appreciate you being here. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. And remember, to act bold, you need to be kid brave again.